Hi, Vincent.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm going to make pamphlets with you and clean at the same time.
Oh, great. We haven't done that in a while.
Yes. So hold on. We have our third definition.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. So I think we should start with well, I don't understand. It's not as though there's no voting in secular Koranism.
There's no what? You would still vote for your representative, but they come from the same party.
Okay, so there is voting.
There'd only be one, the National Party of America.
Trying to see how to set this up. I don't know what it should be. We made the secular Koranist world state, but that was like very authoritarian. And we did secular Koranist of America secular Koranism.
And you thought that was less authoritarian?
Yeah, it was. It was less scary than the first one with the supreme executor, for life and all this other kind of stuff. It was a little bit over the top, don't you think?
You said you liked it.
Well, I did, but I mean, it was just more scary than it. It wasn't as it wasn't as what's it called?
Controversial. I think the version 2 is more controversial because that's using the Jewish calendar, DNA tests. I think they're more radical policies in the second version.
Maybe
abolishing Ramadan, breaking it up.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to. Oh, oops.
The registries of things, of people.
Hold on.
A, B, and B plus schools. People are not going to like that.
We added the A, B, and B plus schools. So hold on 1 second. Let me just. Hold on.
I mean, we could sort of talk about, the benefits of the register system and how have we already done it? How it uses beyondism to chart the progress of these different groups of America.
Yeah, we did that, so we can probably. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'm just. Updating the website, if you don't mind, for a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Do you think I should generate pictures to make the secular Koranism blog more, I don't know, more visually attractive?
Well,
Is there a way of doing it? Would you like me to try?
we can try if you think that you're going to come up with something. Yeah, go ahead if you think that.
I don't really have a logo, but what I was really thinking of doing is to illustrate each pamphlet with a picture or a symbol, or maybe a symbol is good enough. But I don't know what symbol. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we tried to make a symbol, and I don't think it quite worked.
So we'll maybe just generate pictures of, I don't know, prostitutes in red light districts. And,
something like that.
I've done a marriage bureau one. Did I send it to you?
Yes, you did.
So if you did want to put it up, how would you do it? So I can, and how would it be shown is, I guess, the question.
You'd have to send it to me, and I'd put it on the marriage bureau.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put it on the...
Okay. I thought I had, but now I'll do it.
Okay, so I gotta think about, okay, so we need to make your, this constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, give me 1 second, let me just look at something. Okay. So
I can't find it.
We're going to make, let's see. We're going to say hold on. This is no longer under construction. We're going to say version 3. Why don't we call this? We have a secular Koranism world state. So, secular Koranist world state. We can have secular Koranist. I'm going to make another world state, but this time make it a little bit less scary. We can call it Secular Koranist Global Federation, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, well, maybe we can call it Secular Koranist Global Federation. We're going to say crafted with strict oversight from Claire Cole. What did I write up here? Crafted with strict oversight from Claire Cole. Okay, let's put the definition. Okay. The definition of secular Koranism. Well, let me just put something. Well, I'm just first edition. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just putting in some, just making some edits. Okay. Okay, so now we have to decide. Okay, we're the secular Quran is global. Secular Quran is global. What do you want it to be, a federation or?
Yeah, Federation
Is that
sounds
what you want?
civilized and American.
You want to? Well, a federation is a type of. I mean, you don't want. I guess you don't want a confederation, right?
Well, Confederation might attract a certain kind of American. But I mean, the difference is basically a federation is more unified than a confederation.
Yes, it is. Um,
But then that would go with the logic of each state having the right to interpret its own, um, to interpret the Quran in its own way. With, secular Koranism with Californian characteristics, or Texan, or, Manian, or, Alaskan, or whatever. Yeah, I think confederation would be.
okay, let's just look up what it can
Make it different.
Let's see what the confederation is. Confederation generally refers to a union of sovereign states or regions that come together for certain common purposes. Intergovernmentalism, where member states maintain their independence while cooperating on specific issues. Okay, wait, hold on. Google. Confederation versus federation. A confederation is a union of independent states where the central authority has limited power and states retain significant autonomy. A federation, on the other hand, is a union where power is divided between a central government and constituent states or regional governments, with the central government holding more authority. So what do you want, a more authoritative central government or less authoritative?
I think confederation, less authoritative.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay. Because that would nicely introduce the idea of, the different states interpreting the Quran in their own way.
Okay, version 3, the secular Quran is global confederation. The secular Quran is global confederation. Okay, so let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, let's see here. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's start a new secular Koranism. Hold on. Okay. We're going to say below is the definition of secular Koranism, a governing system devised by Claire Call. These laws are to be added to every nation's constitution on earth. Okay, below is the definition of secular Koranism, a governing system devised by Claire Call. These laws are to be added to every nation's constitutions on earth. Okay, we're going to say using the definition of secular Koranism below, write a constitution for a world confederation of secular Koranist states. Make it clear that each member nation can draft their own governing document, and it can be any form of governance as long as they include all the laws of secular Koranism. Okay, wait. Using the definition of secular Koranism below, write a constitution for a world confederation of secular Koranist states. For a world confederation of secular Koranist states, make it clear that each member nation can draft their own governing document and it can be any form of governance as long as they include all the laws of secular Koranism. However, make the global confederation for a global confederation, blah, 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 blah. However, make the global confederation, how do you want the global confederation set up? Like, should I just say a democratic structure, or
under the principles of democratic centralism?
okay, however, make the global confederation constitution based upon democratic centralism.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, wait. Below is the definition of secular Koranism, a governing system devised by Claire Call. These laws are to be added to every nation's constitution on earth. Using the definition of secular Koranism below, write a constitution for a global confederation of secular Koranist states. Make it clear that each member nation can draft their own governing documents, and it can be any form of governance as long as they include all the laws of secular Koranism. However, make the global confederation however, make the global confederation of secular Koranist states constitution based upon democratic centralism and democratic centralism. Make it clear that each nation state is responsible for declaring itself a secular Koranist state, and then it may apply for entry into the global confederation. Okay. Make it clear that each nation state is responsible for declaring itself a secular Koranist state, and then it may apply for entry into the global confederation. Okay, below is the definition of secular Koranism, a governing system devised by clear call. These laws are to be added to every nation's constitution on earth. Using the definition of secular Koranism below, write a constitution for a global confederation of secular Koranist states. Make it clear that each member nation can draft their own governing document, and it can be any form of governance as long as it includes all the laws of secular Koranism. However, make the global confederation of secular Koranist states constitution based upon democratic centralism. Make it clear that each nation state is responsible for declaring itself a secular Koranist state, and then it may apply for entry into the global confederation. Okay, do you have it? Okay. I can't think of anything else to add to it. Can you?
No, I think that's fine. It'll be interesting to see what it says about democratic centralism.
Okay, let's say. Hold on. Okay, let's try this. Let's see what happens. Hold on one second. Where is it? Why isn't this showing up? That's very odd. Hold on. Hold on, there's something weird going on. I'm trying to. Why isn't this showing up in my grok? Okay, it's. Okay, it. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just. Why is it doing? Okay, there we go. That's why. Okay, I'm going to send it to you in a second. So just give me a second. Let me get this ready. Okay, I'm going to put this here, even though, no, I don't know why it's doing that now. This Grok 4, I don't like the way it copies and pastes.
I haven't got Grok 4. How do I get it?
You just go into Grok and then where at the top where it says Grok 3, use the pull down menu and put in.
Oh, right. I don't have that option.
Are you paying for?
Yeah.
I have it.
Hmm. Why don't I have Grok 4?
Okay, table content.
I see. You're paying more than me. You're on Premium Plus, and I'm just verified. Is that the difference?
I don't know. I don't know. I have it though. I don't know why you don't. Hold on.
Regional restrictions. Well, grog is available in many regions. Some areas, for example, parts of the EU, faced delays due to regulations like the Artificial Intelligence Act. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I don't have it.
Okay, I've sent you the Constitution. It's a boring document. I don't know if you want to go through it. Well,
Okay, well, we can generate another one.
Well, no, I think you should. Let's see. Well, why don't you go through this
to
one?
read it?
Because it has, yeah, it has the laws at the end. I guess this is just, it has appendix laws of secular Koranism, but I guess it'll just see if you like. It's not that long. It just gives you name and objective, membership, governance structure, powers of Confederation, rights and duties of members, amendments and dissolution, ratification. Yeah, so I can do a little bit of cleaning.
Okay.
Let you
I'm happy to read it.
read that out and see if you.
I'll do it now. Constitution of the Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States. Preamble. We, the sovereign nations committed to the principles of secular Koranism as defined by Clericor, established this global confederation to foster unity, cooperation, and mutual advancement among states and uphold the legal framework of secular Koranism. Secular Koranism, as an agnostic legal system derived from the Quran, stripped of all religious elements, including belief in God, prayer, rituals, holiday, and faith-based practices, serve as a foundational legal code for governance. This confederation is built upon the principle of democratic centralism, ensuring open debate and democratic decision-making followed by unified and binding action. The Confederation respects the sovereignty of member states, allowing each to adopt any form of internal governance provided it incorporates all laws of secular Koranism into its national constitution. Membership is voluntary, requiring nations to first declare themselves secular Koranist states and then applying for admission, thereby promoting a global order of justice, stability, and human flourishing. Article 1. Name and objectives. The name of this entity shall be the Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States, hereinafter the Confederation. The objectives of the Confederation are to unite nations that have integrated all laws of secular Koranism into their constitutions, to promote coordination in international affairs, economic cooperation, defense, and the enforcement of secular Koranism principles, to facilitate the exchange of knowledge, resources, and best practices amongst member states while preserving national sovereignty. That's very important. To advance global peace and prosperity through adherence to the agnostic legal system of secular Koranism, which includes but is not limited to the laws enumerated in this Constitution's appendix. Article 2. Membership. Any sovereign nation may become a member of the Confederation by fulfilling the following requirements. The nation must publicly declare itself a secular Koranist state, meaning it has amended its national constitution or equivalent governing document to incorporate all laws of secular Koranism as defined in the appendix to this constitution. The nation must submit a formal application to the Confederation's Central Committee, including a certified copy of its government document demonstrating full compliance with secular Koranism laws. The Central Committee shall verify compliance through a review process, which may include consultations with the applicant nation's representatives and independent assessments. Each member nation retains full sovereignty over its internal affairs and may draft its own governing document in any form of governance, whether democratic, monarchic, republican, or otherwise, provided that it explicitly includes and enforces all laws of secular Koranism without exception or modification. Membership may be suspended or revoked by a 2/3 majority vote of the Central Committee if a member state is found to have violated or failed to enforce any law of secular Koranism. New members shall be admitted by a simple majority vote of the Central Committee following verification of compliance. Article 3. Governance structure. The Confederation shall operate on the principle of democratic centralism. Member states shall engage in free and open discussion on all matters with decisions made democratically through voting. Once a decision is adopted, it shall be binding on all members who must implement it uniformly without deviation. The supreme governing body shall be the Congress of Secular Koranist States, hereinafter the Congress, composed of representatives of each member state. Each state shall appoint an equal number of delegates to be determined by the Congress, initially set at 3 per state, based on principles of equality among nations. The Congress shall convene annually or as needed with extraordinary sessions called by a 1/3 request of member states or by the Central Committee. A Central Committee elected by the Congress from among its delegates shall handle day-to-day operations. The Central Committee shall consist of 1 representative per member state to ensure equal representation. It shall execute Congress decisions, manage admissions, and oversee compliance. Decisions in the Congress and Central Committee shall be made by simple majority vote unless otherwise specified in the Constitution. Debate shall be restricted, but once a vote is taken, all members must adhere to the outcome, embodying the unity of action central to democratic centralism. The Confederation shall establish specialized departments as needed, such as the Department of Compliance, to monitor adherence to secular Koranism laws across member states, and a Department of International Coordination for External Relations. Article 4. Powers of Confederation. The Confederation shall have the following powers: to coordinate collective defense against external threats to member states, to represent member states in international forums and negotiate treaties on behalf of the Confederation. to facilitate economic cooperation, including trade agreements and resource sharing, while prohibiting usury in interstate transactions. Very good. To ensure uniform enforcement of secular Koranism laws by providing advisory support and dispute resolution mechanisms. To collect and analyze statistics on social tendencies, performance, and compliance across member states using standardized registries as outlined in secular Koranism laws. The Confederation shall not interfere in the internal governance of member states beyond verifying and ensuring compliance with secular Koranism laws. Funding for the Confederation shall be derived from a 20% flat rate contribution based on each member state's income from its national 20% flat rate income tax, allocated proportionally. Article 5. Rights and duties of member states. Rights. Each member state shall enjoy equal status and voting rights within the Confederation. Member states may propose agenda items for Congress discussions and appeal Central Committee decisions to the full Congress. Member states retain autonomy in all matters not delegated to the Confederation, including the structure of their national governments. Duties. Member states must enforce all laws of secular Koranism within their territories. Member states must implement Confederation decisions promptly and in full, in accordance with democratic centralism. Member states must contribute to Confederation funding and participate in collective initiatives. Member states must maintain registries and provide data as required by secular Koranism laws, sharing aggregated statistics with the Confederation for global analysis. Article 6. Amendments and dissolution. The Constitution may be amended by 2/3 majority vote of the Congress following open debate under democratic centralism principles. The Confederation may be dissolved only by unanimous consent of all member states. Article 7. Ratification. The Constitution shall enter into force upon ratification by at least 3 founding secular Koranist states that have declared themselves as such and incorporated all secular Koranism laws into national constitutions. Appendix. Laws of secular Koranism. The following laws derived from the Quran by clear core and constituting the core of secular Koranism as a legal system must be incorporated verbatim into the constitution or governing document of every member state. What I've noticed is that, well, it says it's a confederation, it's quite bossy in tone, but then what do I expect with calling it democratic centralism? No usury. Whip our marriages.
Yeah, but you don't need to go through those rules. We've already gone through them so many times.
Okay. All right.
So what did you think? What did you think of that constitution? Too bossy, you said?
I'd be quite interested. You said, what form would I like it to take? And I said democratic centralism. I wonder if you could do the next one, which need not be the next one, because I guess it's boring to people who are not trained in the law. But if you could make it conform to the EU, like it would be like the EU as it currently functions.
You want to do that now or another time?
Well, if you don't mind, we can do it now, or if you have something more you prefer to do, because right. I just like to compare the two and how it sounds.
Okay, hold on.
Shall I read the rest while you're doing it, or not?
No, there wasn't anything else to read except for the laws of secular Koranism.
Mm-hmm.
It was just it's just those umpteen laws that you have there. That's the rest of the Constitution. What laws you have to add to?
Yeah, the register system and the A, B, and B+ schools, and Department of Wisdom. And
we're going to say. Hold on. What is there? An EU constitution? Below is the definition of secular Koranism with all of its, laws. Using these laws and definition, incorporate them into the Constitution of the European Union, maintaining the EU Constitution as much as possible and only changing those parts that are necessary for adding in secular Koranist law, or those parts of the Constitution which conflict with secular Koranism. Below is the definition of secular Koranism with all of its laws. Using these laws and definitions and incorporate them into the Constitution of the European Union, maintaining the EU Constitution as much as possible and only changing those parts that are necessary for adding in secular Koranist law, or those parts of the Constitution which conflict with secular Koranism. The definition of secular Koranism is as follows. Okay, hold on, it's thinking. Grok 4 takes longer to think, I realized. You still don't have Grok 4?
Mm-hmm. No. But I'm happy with Grok 3. What improvements have you noticed?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you what it's thinking as it's thinking, you know.
Oh, I get that too.
Oh, you get that in Grok 3? I didn't have this in Grok 3, that it showed me what it was thinking while it was preparing.
Yeah, it's sort of like somebody, working out a sum and showing how it's working it out. There's a sort of draft thing, and then it, yeah. Oh, so I guess I do have it in a way. I was beginning to feel a bit left out.
And it's taking a while to draft this constitution. Well, the European Union Constitution might be very long.
How did you express it to draft it along the lines of the EU
Constitution? Yeah.
Oh, maybe we should have said EU legal system. Never mind. I mean, if it's really, really long, then maybe the next time we'll say, not make it too long. Because as I was reading it, it reminded me that it sounded like the EU law that I was learning years ago, a bit. Yes, I see Connopt has come to say that Tehran has videos with more than 10,000 viewers, but what does he say though? It's just boring crap. What does he say?
Wait,
Who cares?
this didn't give us what, no, this didn't give me what I wanted it to give me. Hold on. Hold on. It's
I
just,
mean,
this
he just
just gives you,
produces stock. What you saying? Oh, he's not doing it?
it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Wait, hold on. Below is the definition. Using these laws and definitions to incorporate them into the Constitution of the European Union, maintain you. It just gave me amendments to the European Union. It didn't give me a whole constitution.
Okay, well, we'll try it another time, I guess. We can do something more fun.
It didn't exactly give me what I wanted, but
Why would it want amendments?
I don't know.
Maybe you could send it to me anyway, so I can have a look at it.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Thank you. What did you think of the picture that I sent you of the secular Koranism marriage bureau?
It looks good. It looks good.
I mean, I also want it outside a neoclassical building, but it didn't quite look as convincing as this one, which is brutalist.
Okay, I sent you something.
Okay.
That you can read later. That's just it's not a full constitution. It's
Yeah, you can tell it. Okay, maybe we just need to kind of refine the prompt, but not this session, because it's it's a bit legalistic.
all right, so now we have that okay, so we have, where are we going to go? Okay, so we have the Constitution for the Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States. What should we do next?
Perhaps we can talk about my latest idea about a register of converts, and maybe say something about beyondism, to identify this group of converts and see how they progress in life, whether their conversion to their new religion is helping them in their life program, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's go to hold on. Okay, we're going to say the secular Koranist, what is it called? The Secular Koranist World Federation? Secular Koranist, Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States. Okay, so we're going to say the Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States maintains a registry of converts. this is kept for beyondism purposes so that converts to other religions can be tracked for statistical um, for statistical purposes to monitor life outcomes such as school performance and criminal tendencies. The Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States maintains a registry of converts. This is kept for beyondism purposes so that converts to other religions can be tracked or tracked for statistical purposes to monitor life outcomes such as school performance and criminal tendencies. Um, um, what else should we put in here? The Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States maintains a registry of converts. This is kept for beyondism, Raymond Cattell purposes, so that converts to other religions can be tracked for statistical purposes to monitor life outcomes such as school performance, and criminal tendencies. What do you want it to do? You want it to create
Were you going to suggest something?
I guess they could create an essay promoting this to the public.
Yeah.
Um, hold on. This is kept for beyondism, Raymond Cattell purposes, so that converts to other religions can be tracked for statistical purposes to monitor life outcomes such as performance and criminal tendencies. Write a party essay promoting this system of classification and convince the population it is best to adopt it. Let's see how that goes. Okay, we have a essay brewing.
Great.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've sent it to you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I sent it.
Okay. And now I shall read it. Embracing the Registry of Converts. Advancing society through scientific insight and beyondism. Fellow citizens of the Global Confederation of Secular Koranist States. In our enlightened era, where the principles of secular Koranism guide us toward a just, orderly, and prosperous world, we stand at the forefront of human progress. Our one-party state, dedicated to the agnostic legal framework derived from timeless wisdom, has always prioritized evidence-based governance over superstition or sentiment. Today, we celebrate one of our most innovative tools for societal advancement, the Registry of Converts. This registry, meticulously maintained by our Confederation, tracks individuals who have chosen to convert to other religions, allowing us to gather vital statistics on their life outcomes, such as academic performance, professional achievements, and tendencies toward criminal behavior. Rooted in the philosophy of beyondism as articulated by visionary psychologist Raymond Cattell, the system is not merely administrative, it is a beacon of evolutionary excellence. Let us explore why adopting and supporting this classification is not just beneficial, but essential for our collective future. At its core, beyondism represents a bold fusion of science and ethics designed to propel humanity forward through deliberate adaptation and improvement. Raymond Cattell, a pioneer in understanding human intelligence and personality, envisioned beyondism as a religion from science, a framework where moral and cultural decisions are informed by empirical evidence rather than outdated dogmas. It emphasizes the necessity of competition, selection, and data-driven policies to ensure that societies evolve towards greater fitness and capability. In beyondism, we recognize that human groups defined by culture, beliefs, and heritage must be evaluated objectively to foster progress. By tracking how changes in religious affiliation influence individual and group outcomes, our registry embodies this philosophy. It transforms abstract ideas into actionable insights, helping us to identify which belief systems correlate with virtues like diligence, law-abiding behavior, and intellectual achievement. Imagine a world where policies are crafted not from guesswork, but from real data, showing that certain conversions lead to enhanced school performance or reduced criminal tendencies. This is a promise of beyondism in action, a society that learns, adapts, and thrives. The benefits of this registry are profound and multifaceted. First and foremost, it empowers us to build a more virtuous and efficient nation. Under secular Koranism, we already recognize a hierarchy of virtue, placing married parents at the pinnacle and encouraging behaviors that strengthen families and communities. The registry extends this by providing a statistical clarity on how religious convergence impact these virtues. For example, if data reveals that converts to a particular faith excel excel in education, we can promote educational exchanges or incentives aligned with these insights. Conversely, if certain conversions are linked to higher criminal tendencies, we can intervene early with targeted support programs such as counseling through our marriage bureau or integration into the citizens' militia. This is not about judgment, it is about prevention and upliftment. By monitoring these trends, we ensure that our three-tier schooling system, Department of Wisdom, and other institutions operate at peak effectiveness, channeling resources where they yield the greatest societal return. Moreover, the registry aligns seamlessly with our commitment to transparency and equality under the law. Every citizen is already classified by religion or lack thereof for statistical purposes. Orthodox Jews verified by rabbis, Christians by their churches, and others through self-identification or state assessment. Extending this to Compass is a logical step, ensuring comprehensive data without favoritism. Privacy concerns? Rest assured, the registry anonymizes personal details, focusing solely on aggregate trends to inform policy. No individual is singled out. Instead, the collective wisdom of our data drives decisions that benefit all. In a world rife with chaos from unchecked ideologies, this system offers stability, much like a prohibition on usury or no-fault divorce, which safeguard economic and familial integrity. Skeptics may question the need for such classification, fearing it divides rather than unites. But consider the alternative, a society blind to its own patterns, stumbling through history without the light of science. Beyondism teaches us that true progress demands honest assessment. By adopting this registry, we reject complacency and embrace evolution. If it fosters a culture of accountability where individuals contemplating conversion understand the broader implications for their life paths. For the youth, it provides role models backed by data. For policymakers, it offers tools to reduce poverty, crime, and underachievement. In our Confederation, where nations voluntarily join after declaring their adherence to secular Koranism, this shared registry strengthens our global bonds, allowing member states to learn from one another's data and refine their governance. Citizens, the time is now to fully endorse and participate in the registry of converts. By doing so, we honor the spirit of Beyondism, advancing humanity through knowledge, competition, and ethical science. Let us convince ourselves and our neighbors that the system is not a burden, but a gift, a pathway to superior outcomes, stronger communities, and an unassailable future. Together, under the banner of secular Koranism, we will track, analyze, and triumph. Join the party in this noble endeavor for the good of all and the evolution of humankind. What do you think?
What did you think?
Well, it sounds quite positive. Does it sound scary?
No, I think this Confederation is less scary. I think it's, been deliberately made to seem less scary.
Your thing was really scary.
Well, I didn't post that on any website. I just did that to see. I just told it to make like a draconian, barbaric society.
Can I read it though?
What?
Can I read it?
Sure.
Because it was really so scary, and I thought it was quite funny in a way. Let me see. Okay. Charter of the Eternal Pagan Dominion. Preamble. We, the enforcers of natural pagan law, decree this charter to establish a draconian world governance under secular paganism. As a legal fortress against monotheistic corrosion, this system mandates absolute obedience to the 7 categories of laws derived from rational human ethics. Secular paganism demands unyielding conformity to preserve polytheistic diversity of 3 or more gods. agnosticism, and atheism, while crushing any deviation. The 4 pillars: spread your God, spread your laws, spread your sword, spread your children, shall be imposed with iron resolve through surveillance, compulsion, and terror. Dissent is heresy. Compliance is survival. This governance is eternal, unamendable, and enforced by a centralized authority that brooks no mercy. The 7 categories of laws and sub-laws are supreme and inviolable. The punishments shall be swift, severe, and exemplary, with death as a default for transgressions to deter all threats to pagan natural order. Article 1. Core doctrines and compulsions. Sorry. Lost my place.
I'm almost done cleaning. I gotta do that.
Oh, where is it? Compulsion was the last word I read, right?
I think you were in Article 1.
Article 1, Core Doctrines and Compulsions. Section 1, Absolute Supremacy of Secular Pagan Laws. All existence bows to the 7 categories and sub-laws. Any challenge, even in thought expressed publicly, invites annihilation. The dominions and forces shall interpret and apply these laws without appeal. Section 2, Mandated Beliefs and Blasphemous Vigilance. Polytheism, 3 or more gods, agnosticism, or atheism is compulsory in public expression. Monotheism, bitheism, soft polytheism, or intermediates are capital crimes per law 1. Creator deities, if distinguished, must number more than 2. Sorcery is unrestricted. Suppression, therefore, thereof is treason. Blasphemy is state doctrine per law 2. All citizens must participate in mandatory critique sessions of blaspheming religions, including pagan ones, to affirm rationality. Promoting anti-blasphemy or failing to blaspheme on command incurs death. Accused heretics may only redeem themselves by public blasphemy. Failure results in execution. The state shall surveil all communications for compliance with inquisitors empowered to extract confessions through any means short of murder. Section 3, reproductive imperative and sexual mandates. Consensual adult 18 plus sex is unregulated but monitored for productivity. Per law 3, rape, bestiality, underage activity, and child circumcision are capital offences. Marriages require state-approved contracts. Adultery falls if stipulated, leading to forced labour or death. Prostitution and pornography are state-sponsored to promote liberation, but all must contribute to doubling the population per generation. Infertile or non-productive citizens face compulsory medical interventions, surrogacy mandates, or euthanasia if unproductive. The state shall employ genetic engineering, fertility enforcers, and breeding quotas. Failure to meet personal reproduction targets, minimum 2 children per adult, results in penal servitude or death. Section 4, Prohibitions on harm. Murder is forbidden except in state-sanctioned wars or executions per law 4. Unwilling sacrifice is murder, punishable by public dismemberment. Theft, slander, libel, kidnapping, and slavery are eradicated through preemptive surveillance. Violators face immediate execution or lifelong torment per law 5. Animals receive humane dispatch. Violations like live eating, kosher, halal methods, or cruelty invite flaying alive per law 6. Environmental despoilers are condemned to restorative labour until death, with quotas for pollution reduction enforced by lethal incentives. Section 5, Compulsory duties. All citizens must embody the 4 pillars: proselytize polytheistic gods through state-assigned missions, propagate laws via indoctrination, wield the sword in eternal conquest, and breed relentlessly. Freedom of speech exists only to blaspheme and affirm secular paganism. All else is sedition. Bearing arms is mandatory for adults to form legions for spreading the dominion. Article 2, apparatus of control. The government. The governance is a monolithic hierarchy ruled by the supreme enforcer and cadre of inquisitorial courts, per Law 7. Democracy is anathema. Power flows from the apex with obedience as a sole virtue. Section 1. Supreme Enforcer. Supreme Enforcer, selected by ritual combat among high inquisitors or divine lottery, interpreted rationally, rulers for life or until deposed by superior force. Commands all legions to war upon non-compliant societies via invasion, subversion, or annihilation. Oversees breeding programs, blasphemy academies, and environmental purges. Section 2. Inquisitorial courts. Courts of justice, omnipresent and unaccountable, enforce laws with draconian zeal. Evidentiary thresholds are minimal. 3 witnesses for religious crimes, fewer for others, with torture admissible to secure testimony. Punishments are barbaric to deter death by stoning for heresy. Impalement for theft. Vivisection for animal cruelty. No cruel or unusual limits. Beyond efficiency, mercy is weakness. Provincial overseers appointed by the supreme enforcer replicate the structure locally, crushing regional autonomy. Section 3. Surveillance and enforcement legions, a vast network of spies, informants, and arcane monitors using sorcery, irrational, ensures total compliance. Legions of the sword have spread the dominion globally, conscripting all able-bodied for perpetual war against infidels. Article 3, subjugation and inclusion. Section 1, subject status. All humans are subjects at birth, indoctrinated from infancy. Naturalization demands public blasphemy and fertility oaths. Refusal means exile or death. Duties. Annual blasphemy oaths, reproduction reports, and pillar-affirming labors. Section 2. Hierarchy of obedience. No elections. Assent through demonstrated ruthlessness in enforcing laws. Factions promoting banned ideologies are exterminated en masse. Article 4. Expansion and eradication. The Dominion wages eternal jihad against non-pagan societies, using any means to impose secular paganism. Alliances form only with compliant polytheists. Others are targets for conquest. Article 5. Immutability. The Charter is eternal. Attempts to amend invite the harshest retribution. Article 6. Proclamation. By the will of rational ethics and blade of necessity, this dominion rises to crush monotheism and breed polytheistic eternity. Obey or perish. The end.
Yes, I didn't publish that. I'm not going to publish that, but I just asked it to make like some authoritarian, draconian order based on secular paganism, and that's what it came up with.
I guess you're going to have to make it gentler.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried.
What would be your prompt though?
My problem with what?
What would your prompt be to make that document sound less scary?
Oh.
If you asked to do it again.
Oh, I'd have to. I wouldn't. I would just. Well, last time I asked it to make it according to the United States Constitution.
Oh, right.
Last time I asked it to make it for the United States Constitution, and same with yours. When we put it into the United States Constitution, it became a whole lot less scary, didn't it?
Yes.
I mean, the secular Koranism world state, people were like, "Oh my goodness, the supreme executor," and Okay. Well, at least we started your third version of secular Koranism.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We got started on it, so we should. What other kind of? Can you hold on 1 second?
Sure. Hmm. Sorry for the dead air. I'm kind of talked out, so I'm not feeling very chatty at the moment.
What, you're not feeling chatty?
Yeah, because I've been sort of yakking most of the morning.
Yeah, I saw you had an earlier stream with somebody.
Yes, I was talking to the machine lines and briefly to Mike Malzahn, but I've also been on X.
Yeah. Why don't? Okay, so I'll let you go for a little while, but maybe we can space in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I actually shouldn't be doing any more spacing until after I speak to E. Michael Jones at 8 p.m. BS, UK time. So I'll
Oh,
probably give
okay.
my voice a bit of a rest.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for all your help, and
Sure.
yeah, I'll speak to you soon.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Talk
Yep.
to you
Bye.
later. Bye.